Today we're talking about rat catchers, the unsung, or rather, the utterly despised heroes of medieval and early modern cities who waded through crap, literally, to keep the rodent apocalypse at bay. Picture this. You're knee-deep in a sewer that smells like death's armpit, armed with a stick and a prayer, chasing after furry little plague machines that could bite your face off or worse, infect you with something that'll make your organs liquefy. Sounds glamorous, right? This job was the bottom of the barrel, the kind you took when even begging seemed too upscale. But hey, someone had to do it. Or the Black Death would have partied harder than it already did. We're going to dissect this forgotten profession, what these poor souls did every stinking day, the crude tools and poisons that were more likely to kill them than the rats, how they hunted in the bowels of the city, why rats were basically walking bioweapons during plagues, the constant dance with death from bites and bugs, how much they got paid, which, spoiler, was peanuts soaked in sewage, and why society needed them like air but treated them like garbage. Oh, and how modern miracles like flushing toilets and actual science finally ended this nightmare. Let's start with the why. Why did rat catchers even exist? Well, rewind to medieval Europe, think 1300s to 1700s, cities like London and Paris crammed with people living in their own filth. No sewers worth a damn, garbage piled in streets, overcrowding that made modern subways look spacious. Rats? They thrived. Black rats, brown rats. These whiskered invaders hitched rides on ships from Asia, set up their homes in basements, attics, sewers, and started families bigger than the Kardashians. And here's the killer. Rats carried fleas, and those fleas packed Yersinia pestis, the bubonic plague bacterium. One bite from an infected flea, and you're swelling up with buboes, coughing blood, dead in days. The Black Death in 1347 to 1351 wiped out 30 to 60% of Europe's population, 25 million gone. Rats didn't cause it directly, but they were the Uber for the fleas. Even outside plagues, rats chowed on food stores, spread other nasties like typhus, hantavirus, and salmonella. Cities were desperate. Without rat control, famine and disease were inevitable. Enter the rat catcher, the medieval exterminator, hired by towns or guilds to stem the tide. In the Middle Ages, they were often itinerant workers, wandering from village to city. In folklore, the famous mention of rat catcher is the Pied Piper of Hamelin, that 1284 legend where a rat catcher lures rodents away with his pipe, then kids when the town stiffs him. Moral of the story, pay your pest control guy or else. Now, a day in the life of a rat catcher. No alarm clocks back then, but you'd rise at dawn, grab your gear, and hit the hotspots. Sewers, cellars, warehouses, slums, where rats partied like it was 1999. Your job was to hunt, trap, and kill. You'd scout for signs like droppings, gnaw marks, nests, and hay. Then the fun begins. Crawl into dark, damp basements. Flashlight? Ha, lantern is all you got. Lantern that, if present, could ignite methane gas and blow you up. You wade through ankle-deep sludge and open drains, breathing air thick with rot and rat piss. Spotted a rat? Go chase it down with a club or spear and smash its skull before it bites back. Rats are fast, smart, they dart into holes, so you'd have to smoke them out with burning straw or sulfur, coughing your lungs out in the process. Or flood nests with water, drowning the buggers. In bigger operations, you'd team up. One guy blocks exits, another flushes them. And the smell? Imagine a mix of dead fish, sewage, and fear. You'd haul out sacks of dead rats, count them for bounty, then burn or bury the corpses to avoid more disease. By nightfall, you're covered in grime, bites, itching, praying you didn't catch something fatal. Victorian era ramped it up, London's population exploded, rats boomed with it. Guys like Jack Black, Queen Victoria's official rat catcher, turned it into a spectacle. He'd catch hundreds in sewers, using dogs or even trained monkeys. Yeah, monkeys. Now what tool did they use? Primitive as hell. No fancy sprays or zappers, a stick or club for bashing, maybe a sharpened pole for spearing. Wooden snap traps baited with cheese or meat, or live capture cages to sell rats for rat baiting sports. Yeah, people bet on dogs killing rats in pits. Arsenic, phosphorus paste, strychnine, mixed into bait like bread or grain were used as poisons. Deadly, but rats got wise, avoiding it after a few deaths. You'd scatter it in runs, hoping for mass kills, but often poisoned yourself handling it, causing skin burns, vomiting, and eventually slow death. Animals were key. Terriers bred for ratting, like the Manchester Terrier or Jack Russell. They are small, fierce, could kill dozens in minutes. Ferrets were used too. Jack Black bred his own black and tan terriers. His dog Billy was a legend. killing 100 rats in under 6 minutes. In the sewers, you'd leash a dog and follow it into the dark, wading knee-deep through filth while dodging lunges from cornered rats the size of cats. If you pushed your luck, they'd swarm you. As for equipment, maybe leather gloves if you were lucky, a pair of boots, and a lantern to light the nightmare. If this sounds horrifying, quick reminder, our previous episode on leech collectors was even worse. Those people literally stood in swamps, letting parasites drink their blood, catching them to be used in medicine. If you missed that one, go watch it after this, and maybe be a little more grateful for your career choices. Now, why were rats such deadly threats during plagues? Rats were everywhere: ships, homes, markets. During outbreaks, like London's 1665 Great Plague, killing 100,000 people, rats exploded as bodies piled up. Catchers were frontline, but close contact meant high risk. Fleas jump from dead rats to humans. One infested rodent could spark a chain. Rats also spread leptospirosis via urine, causing fever and organ failure. Hantavirus from droppings. Bites from rats infected with bacteria led to rat bite fever, causing chills, rash, arthritis. Catchers lived on the edge, every hunt a gamble. Many died young, infected wounds turning gangrenous, plague claiming them mid-job. In 1665, catchers were exempt from quarantine to keep working, but mortality was sky-high. Imagine, you're pulling plague-riddled rats from a dying man's bed, fleas hopping onto you, but these guys had no choice. Poverty pushed them in, death often pulled them out. Pay? Laughable. A few pennies per rat or a flat fee from the town. In 14th century England, a catcher might earn a shilling a day, barely bread money. Bounties helped. Governments paid per tail or head to prove kills. Victorian bounties? Extra perks for over 5,000 rats a year, like a badge or bonus. Jack Black made a living selling fancy rats as pets or for labs, bred albinos for science, but overall, low wages for high risk. Itinerant catchers begged between jobs. Society needed them desperately. During plagues, they were hailed as saviors, but otherwise, shunned. Handling vermin made you unclean. People crossed streets to avoid the rat man stench. Associated with lowlifes and thieves, some catchers moonlighted as burglars, using rat hunts as cover. Yet, without them, cities would have collapsed under rodent hordes. Finally, the decline. Thanks sanitation and science. Mid-19th century, London's Great Stink of 1858 led to Bazalgette's sewer system. Underground pipes flushed waste, reducing rat havens. Cities worldwide followed. Better drainage, trash collection, building codes. Rats had fewer places to breed, pest control evolved, 1890s, rodenticides like red squill were developed. Warfarin in 1948, anticoagulant that rats couldn't resist. Traps improved, glue boards and electric zappers became the standard. Public health changed in the 1860s to 1880s as germ theory shifted focus from bad air to bacteria, emphasizing hygiene. By 1900s, professional exterminators emerged. Companies like Rent-A-Kill in 1925, using science, not sticks. Rat catchers faded into folklore, replaced by guys in vans with chemicals. Today, pest control techs earn decent money. They've got proper training and protective gear. But the legacy remains. Without those early fighters, thousands of lives would have been lost. So, the next time a rat scurries by, tip your hat to the ghosts of catchers. If this rat race entertained you, like, subscribe, and comment what amount of money would make you take this job for a day. Stay clean, stay smart, and maybe check your basement, just in case.